You should fire us. Okay. My family runs a small trucking company. Depending on where you are in the world, you might call us a P&D company, a final mile company, a white glove company. Basically, we handle the kind of stuff that you might buy to have delivered to your home or business. That's too big for someone like UPS to deliver, but not big enough for a tractor trailer to haul, and/or stuff that actually needs to be brought into the home and set up, like furniture, appliances, etc. A lot of what we've hauled over the years is stuff going to small stores that can't take delivery by large truck, construction sites where large trucks can't get in and out, neighborhoods and apartment complexes. We don't work for the people buying the stuff. We work for the people selling or shipping it. But as we tend to see the same business owners a lot, we've developed great relationships with them over the years. We don't get rich, but we've been pretty comfortable over the years. Our one major stressor has been a longtime shipper who has, or rather, had become increasingly demanding as time went on. Now when I say long time, I mean it. We made our first delivery for them over 50 years ago. Our company has been doing business with them longer than any of their current employees or management staff have been there. There was one point, not too long ago, where the retired guy who came in a few hours a day to sweep our warehouse because he was bored sitting home literally knew more about this shipper's systems than their senior field representative who was supposed to be supervising our operations. We have been a small but vital part of their network for so long that almost no one there really realized how much we did for them. We've seen field reps come and go. Some have been great, some have been a little challenging, but most have, once they realized what was going on, largely left us alone to do our jobs. One even called when he took over our area to ask who we were, because his predecessor had no notes on us at all, because they'd never had to visit. We've just been, mostly, quietly plugging along, taking care of their customers, in some cases for generations. Well, the latest rep was a genuinely unpleasant person. He was arrogant, abrasive, casually insulted our employees. Honestly, it's not worth getting into the minutiae here. He wasn't someone we wanted to work with, but I'm able to put on a happy face and get along with about anyone, when needs must. So onward we strode. As I said earlier, the shipper had been getting more and more demanding as time went on. Systems had been getting harder to navigate. Inventory had been getting harder to track. Phone trees had grown into banyan nightmares. More and more layers of bureaucracy had been added. And with every change they'd grown less agile, slower, more difficult to deal with. One day the field representative called because he didn't like how we'd answered an email. Not that we hadn't answered it, just that he didn't like the manner in which it had been answered. After decades of dealing with this shipper, being micromanaged to that level was not something that we were interested in. The manager here who was dealing directly with him tried to defuse the situation, but it kept getting worse until the field representative said, "If you aren't happy with the way things are going, maybe you should just quit." Oh, okay then. We started running the numbers, looked at all our other business, decided that we could, indeed, go on without them. And then I called the field representative to have a frank conversation with him. And then I wrote a short, polite, direct letter to our customer of over 50 years telling them that we were firing them. We didn't just pull the plug. We gave them a full 60 days notice, so they'd have time to get something worked out. And they didn't. We've always been here for them. They've never had to worry about it. They had someone they thought was going to be a replacement. But, well, as of today most of their customers in this area haven't had deliveries in a week. Some longer than that. Many don't know when they'll get their next shipment. That field representative might still have a job when all is said and done. But it's not our problem anymore. Our phone keeps ringing. People looking for their freight from that shipper. Sorry. You'll have to call them. Quote. This one need an update. Every time you get a call for freight, you should not only say, sorry. You'll have to call them. Add. Be sure to ask for less than field rep. It's a shame a good business relationship went south because of nonsense. But that's how it goes when the business doesn't care enough to train their people. To be clear, not your people, their people. Phone trees had grown into banyan nightmares is epic. You get my free award just for that phrase. Gotta love it when the new guy comes in, telling those that have worked the job for years what they're doing wrong, and it all blowing up in their face. Tears of joy, tears of joy. I really hope your letter to the customer noted that you were declining to do business with them any further because field rep directed you to quit. Otherwise, that customer may blame you and not field rep, who deserves the heat. Well told. Shame on the long-term working relationship. Glad you weren't forced to stay for whatever reason. Thumbs up. Has a week gone by yet? Well done. Some people's expectations far exceed reality. I was in the home repair business, and instead of firing clients, I just told them they don't need my services anymore. Phone trees had grown into banyan nightmares. Well, there's the problem. Should have at least migrated to NetWare. Oh, please do tell us about the after effects. I used to have a job where I worked with third-party vendors on performance metrics and working through any operational issues between our companies. I was pretty easygoing about it because our vendors were good and would own up to problems, but I had some colleagues who wanted heads on platters for every little mistake made. So many times I had to remind them that third parties have other customers and some are our sole source for an item that goes into every product we make. People willing to sabotage the whole relationship and put our supply chain at risk over what amounts to an ego trip. The way that this guy kept being such a dick for so long and then worked up to email X-Ritus CMS and then taunted your manager point blank with, "Why don't you quit?" makes me wonder, maybe that was what he was after all along? Could he have a buddy or relative who runs a hauling service who could pick up that slice of business and cut the sales representative in for a percentage of the profits? Or is he just that petty, stupid, and that much of a dollar hole? Good old Chesterton fence. Phone trees had grown into banyan nightmares. This is a really great image. Thank you. It's vivid. Definitely high shelf quality stuff. I just wanted to call this out specifically. It was enjoyable to read. Sounds like the old 80-20 rule. This is where 80% of a company's sales come from 20% of its customers. I think you'll find your profits will increase significantly now. Feel-good story of the year. Right here. I am in IT and we have a third-party vendor like this. Third party also related to owner of my company. Sounds like they made themselves more expensive to work with in the way they were consuming OP's company's time and resources as well. I bet they reduced the revenue made from them to the point where it was a super easy call. Lol. Remind me in 1 month. I'm invested in this drama. Reading this, I'm thinking they didn't want to keep working with you anymore. Yo Saunders is supposedly doing white glove delivery for their metacycles. Are y'all involved with them?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.